What's going on, everyone? Unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well. And in today's video, we're talking about the most recent episode of The Bad Batch, episode 9, titled Bounty Lost, and what we exactly saw there more specifically in the actual episode, and what it could mean for future Star Wars movies, the future episodes of The Bad Batch, and what it means for the overall sequel movies. So without further ado, let's just jump right on into it. Of course, it's quite obvious, but I'm just going to throw it out there. Of course, there are spoilers for The Bad Batch, so click off now if you haven't seen it. But other than that, this was, of course, a really awesome episode. I've already shared my full initial review, breakdown things you have missed, maybe, and predictions and theories here for future episodes of The Bad Batch here. Covered that on the channel. You guys can check that out here on the channel. It's in a playlist called The Bad Batch Breakdowns. So, with all that out of the way, what do we exactly see there in this episode that's so dang important for the possible sequel movies here, and what we could very well see here in future episodes for The Bad Batch, and what could very well play out in other future Star Wars projects, series, and movies that we haven't even seen yet? Well, in that episode, The Bad Batch, and more specifically Omega and Cad Bane, travel to an abandoned Kaminoan cloning facility where we see some interesting abandoned cloning tubes that are, of course, later broken, and drops out one of those dead clone bodies, which, of course, I've already had my theories and predictions on exactly what that cloning exactly was, what that clones, or what they're all supposed to be, and my top, I guess, the three right now theories and predictions as of what those, I guess, actual clone bodies could have been, because it was pretty hard to kind of make them out, but just telling and basing off of what they looked like and what we saw there, and comparing them to other different figures and characters here from Star Wars and the overall Star Wars universe, is Exhibit A, them being normal, regular Jango Fett clone bodies, which is one I think that just doesn't make the most sense. That's why it's kind of just like the first one. Just get that one out of the way. Number two is that the fact that very well could have been the Kaminoans cloning themselves. I think that those figures kind of made out Kaminoans very closely in some regards, with their tall, lengthy limbs and that height that we saw there, especially kind of compared there to Fennec Shan when it falls on her. And then my top one, I think that these, I guess, abandoned cloning tubes very well could be, is very well Palpatine himself, who we later do see in the sequel trilogy and in the newer movies actually clone himself, and what the whole process to that actually was. Now, many people, many fans, I guess including myself especially at first, thought that that whole idea of Palpatine cloning himself was just stupid. They just thought it was just the dumbest idea ever. It didn't make any sense, didn't have anything to back it up, and I think that is something that a lot of the new Star Wars content and new shows, projects, and movies that we're going to be getting here in the future for Star Wars is going to kind of touch on and explain. I mean, we've already seen it for The Mandalorian Season 2, where we see an abandoned cloning facility, and we see the dead bodies of Snoke, or tested bodies of the cloned Snoke. And with that, I think that's exactly what The Bad Batch show is kind of hinting at and starting to do as well, and kind of following in the steps of what The Mandalorian is starting to do, and what future Star Wars projects are very well starting to do as well. Now, two other projects I think that are very well upcoming here in the coming dates here in the coming years, I think we're also going to see some more insights here and just more teases of how and how early, more specifically, Palpatine actually started cloning himself, is number one, of course, the Book of Boba Fett, which takes place after Return of the Jedi, so it's still a little late. He's actually already dead at that point and probably on Exegol working on his clones. But the other one I think could be very well the upcoming Acolyte show that is going to be taking place hundreds and hundreds of years before The Phantom Menace. Guys, I think that one very well could do some more further in-depth explaining and explanations here for how Palpatine exactly was able to pull off his whole cloning. Also, on that note, it kind of gives us a little bit of a confirmation that if that is actually a Palpatine clone of maybe Snoke or Palpatine himself, it very well indicates that the Kaminoans actually did help him in that whole process with him actually trying to clone himself. Now, furthermore, this does touch back over to the other theory of people saying that Omega is Force sensitive, and furthermore at that, she's actually a Palpatine clone. Guys, that's one of the best theories I've heard out there for The Bad Batch, and that's one I've been holding on to ever since the episode 1 season premiere. And guys, I still hold on to that one, and I think it very well could be true, and I really do hope it's true, because I think that would be an awesome thing to kind of see come true here for the upcoming episodes. So with that, that's pretty much just my little in-depth, I guess, explanation there for exactly what was going on there in that episode, because that's something that might have flown over some people's heads, I feel like, in some kind of way. ways, because the overall characters didn't really acknowledge it all that much, except for Omega, who acknowledged the fact that she doesn't want to end up in a tube as a experiment, which I thought was, kind of a nice little touch, a nice little detail. And of course, I want to know all of your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section down below. Do you think it's a Palpatine clone, a normal Jango Fett clone, or a clone of a Kaminoan? Guys, I want to know all of that in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what all of you guys think. Leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it. It literally takes you 2 seconds, and it really does help with the channel. And check out our Instagram, Unofficial Star Wars, for more Star Wars related content. And of course, until next time, the Force will be with you always. Peace out.